Okay, in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the multi-dimensional business model because this is what I operate on and I've just freaking realized the amazingness of this. So I want to really dive deep into this because as spiritual entrepreneurs, as intuitive beings, as multi-dimensional people, we can easily find ourselves lost in either the 3D, which is the physical reality, or lost in the fifth dimension as well, right? So and I want to explain all of this in just a second, so hold on to your horses. But all of this to say that if we get lost in either one of those realms only without utilizing the pair of them, we will find ourselves out of alignment every single time. And I guarantee this because I've been there multiple times. So if you are lost, if you're overwhelmed, if you're procrastinating, if you're self-sabotaging, if you are just finding yourself not in alignment in your business, in your life, I can guarantee you're either heavily being influenced by the 3D reality only, where you're too focused on the 3D, right? Externally, everything in the physical world, everything you can see, touch, smell. So stress about money, bills, whatever the thing. You're too much inside of the illusion. Or you are doing the opposite and you are too much in the, I'm just going to do hypnosis. I'm just going to do visualization. I'm just going to manifest because that feels good. And I'm not going to actually build anything. I'm not actually going to do content. I'm not actually going to be visible. I'm not going to actually grow myself. I'm just going to stay in my imagination because that feels like fun. That's the fifth dimension. And when we do that, we don't get physical results. And so we use the fifth dimension as an escape. And both of those things, as an escapist, you just become a dreamer who doesn't actually build the dreams. And in the physical, you might build something, but you'll be fucking stressed about it or you're not enjoying it as much as you can. So for you to save that and to actually fucking do both, because I'm here as living proof of it, of I get to fucking build from my intuition and I get to do visualization and dream and do all the things, and then I bring it down into reality and it gets to be fucking fun. And I don't do it from burnout. I do it from this clean, aligned energy. And this is your multidimensional business model as well, that you want to operate your unique way, right? So I don't teach you my way. This is the whole beauty of the multidimensional business model, is you get to create it and design it according to your soul blueprint. You get to look at your astrology chart. You get to look at your passions. You get to look at your energy blueprint from human design. All of these things, we combine it together. This is literally what I do in my one-to-one sessions with my clients. It's so much fun and it's so easy for me to do. And they literally go off and then they full force, they get the success, they get the results. They're literally in momentum. Why? Because clarity is number one. If you are not crystal clear on where it is that you are trying to go and what you are trying to do with your business, it's going to be very hard for you along the way to find that alignment, right? So this whole video I'm creating for you to really deeply understand what the multidimensional business model will look like for you, and you can start to get really crystal clear. Now, I'm going to do another video. I don't know if I've done one already, but I'll do another one on your mission and your vision and why it's so fucking important to get that clear. Because that's going to be your grounding anchor in the 3D, in the material, to keep you here, to keep you grounded. Because as empaths, as spiritual beings, it's very, very easy for us to get lost in the fifth dimension because that's what we're comfortable with, right? Our soul just wants to be there because that's what feels like really good for us. But our challenge in this lifetime, if you're a spiritual being, most of us have to come down and to ground those gifts into the physical, right? And the best way you can do this is grounding it in a physical business, because that's what then allows you to be free in the fifth dimension for longer, because you're not forced to be in a 9-to-5 job. You're not forced to wear uniforms that you don't want to wear. You're not forced to eat at the certain time that somebody else tells you. Like, you get all that freedom when you actually bring your gift from the 3D, from the fifth dimension. You cultivate that into the physical, right? And that is what I do best. So let's go. Number one, with a multidimensional business model, understand the world that we live in. The world that we live in is two-dimensional. We are living in the 3D reality, which is everything we can see, touch, feel, smell, sense with our physical senses. Eyes, mouth, ears, nose, all of that stuff, right? So the physical body, the thing that we can literally see, touch every day, that is 3D material. So when we die, it's why the body gets burnt and nothing is left. The soul is the fifth dimension. The soul is the spark of energy. That energy has left the physical matter. So we are both. So in our reality, we see the 3D in terms of everything with the physical, and the fifth dimension is the mind, it's imagination. It's everything that has not yet existed, but there's potential to create from, okay? So an example of this in our reality is we had a time in history where we didn't have airplanes. That was a thought form that the Wright brothers had. It was just existing as a thought form energetically in the fifth dimension. What they did with that thought is they pulled that idea from the fifth dimension as an idea in imagination, and they brought it down into physical stuff that we could see, a physical aeroplane that we could see, touch, and it could actually lift us into the air. So that is pure magic in our material world of how we work and operate when we use both the fifth dimensional realms, which is our imagination and our soul footprint, our soul intuitive powers, and we bring it into the tangible physical realms. Number 2, when you look at your business, most spiritual entrepreneurs operate only looking at it from the lens of the 3D or the 5D, or they try to look at both of it. They try to do all the things with the fifth dimension and think, oh, I'm going to visualize getting this many clients in my business. But they're so focused on the outcome in the physical reality that they're not bridging that energy together very well. Okay, so there's work to be done in terms of the 3D for your business. That is simply the structure that you are giving to the ideas from the fifth dimensional. That's literally the most simplest way that I can do it. You're literally pulling ideas from your imagination and you're grounding it into structures. And then your job is simply to keep those structures aligned with your soul as your soul grows and elevates. And this is where we come into number 3, which is you. You are your purpose. So again, you are the physical body, and so it's your job with the physical body to create, to build. You cannot do that with just the imagination. We have to do inspired action. That's one of the laws of the universe. So this is where you have to keep on growing, developing, learning new skills, and pour that into your business on the 3D level. And the fifth dimensional level is where you have to go into all the mindset. Now, I'm going to talk to you about like the core things that you do for your multidimensional business model that you want to go and apply into your business. But you really want to understand on a deep, deep level as to how this works. So you can start to apply it into your business and you can clearly see, oh, am I in the 3D right now? And is it helping me or is it hindering me? Again, am I in the 5D right now? Is it helping me or hindering me? If it's not leading you directly to the results that you want, it's a hindrance. If it's taking you step by step and you know it's cultivating that knowingness, your intuition is guiding you there, you know you're on the right track. Okay? So examples of businesses, because you can build from one only, right? You can build from the 3D only, but you cannot build from just from the 5D. And I'm going to explain this. When you build only from the third dimension, you are using all of your willpower, right? You are using all of your muscle. Like men do this a lot. You can see it in the masculine era. It can result in a lot of burnout. You're literally hustling, and to the point where your body can't take it anymore and it takes its toll. Feminines experience this a lot more. I've worked with millionaires who I told you she literally misconceived because she was so stressed in her body from creating this business from just the 3D realms, okay? Again, businesses that are built from the 3D take much longer. It's almost like you have to climb these little steps and you have to reach one step at a time. Now, this is the magic of us spiritual entrepreneurs. We can jump. We don't just go 1K a month, 2K a month. I jumped straight to 5K a month, right? And you can do that because you have the power of visualization. So we quantum jump, we quantum manifest, which is literally collapsing time. Now that only is possible when you build your business from the third dimension and the fifth dimension. That's the whole power of spiritual entrepreneurship. So we don't want to just be building from 3D reality. And there are business coaches who will just teach and they don't believe in the spiritual stuff and they call it woo-woo. And then they get burnt out and they built those businesses, but then they're the unhappy millionaires or the unhappy successful business owners, right? We don't want to be that. We want to be peaceful, we want to be aligned, and we want to be fucking joyful. So if that's what you want, then you're in the right space and you want to be building from the 3D and the 5D. When you try and build, and I see this all the time and I've done this too, when you think that, oh, I'll just manifest it, like you're just going to be spending time in the fifth dimension and you're not actually going to take any fucking physical action or the aligned action that you need. And you're like, I'm just going to visualize my way to success. I'm sorry to tell you, it's not going to happen. This is why. One of the laws of the universe is literally the law of compensation. In order for you to get paid, you have to sow the seeds. Now, sowing the seeds is physically planting in the material world because you are too, right? You're not just the soul. Your soul's not just floating around without a body. It's connected to this physical body, which means, again, your mind, your imagination is connected to the physical. So unless you are doing visualization from the mind, your soul, and bringing that into the physical and doing something with your action steps, you're not going to see tangible results. You're just going to be the dreamer who dreams, right? Who doesn't actually build it. So that dream exists only in your imagination. And until you're pulling it from the fifth dimension and building something with it in the 3D physical reality, you're not going to see the results. So some of you, this might trigger some of you, this might wake the fuck up. And some of you, the reality might slap you awake, but it's the truth. And when I realized this in my own self and my own business, I was like, fuck, I'm fucking around over here. Like I need to just get out the fifth dimension and stop escaping and start building. Every time I've done that, and I've done it from alignment, I've not been burnt out, and I've seen the success that I want in my business. So this might be you right now. This is literally the business energetics, okay, that people don't really clarify, and I love to fucking clarify because I like it fucking straight. Like, give it to me straight, people. Come on. Anyway. So, the fifth thing. Like I mentioned already before, if you want quantum success, if you want to jump straight to the 5K months, you don't want 1K first, then 1.5, then 2, then 3, then 4. It's like, nah, we can just jump to 5 and now we're going to jump to 20. Then we're going to jump to 100K. You can do that. You can 100% do that. If you combine the two, you do the 5th dimensional visualization, disciplined, do it until you reach that goal, and you are building and changing and evolving and growing in the 3D as well. Okay, so your multidimensional business model looks very unique to your soul blueprint from your astrology chart, from your human design, from your past experiences, from the identity and what your mission is and all of that stuff. And when you combine it with the 3D, so the 3D is your mind, your beliefs, your actions, your behaviors, everything that you're doing. And then you combine it with the identity through your 5th dimension of visualizing, imagining what it feels like, what it looks like, grounding yourself and using your intuition to take the next steps in your business. That is the perfect recipe. Those are all the ingredients that you need for your multidimensional business model. So I think that's enough. Hopefully it's blown your brain a bit and woken you up to the truth. If you've got any comments, if you've got any questions, please do feel free to drop them in the comments and I will do some videos on it because I'm doing this every day. So it's helpful for me. It's helpful for you because I'm here to help you people. Subscribe if you're new here, like this video if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one. Mwah.